Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Anna, Tony, and John sat stunned at a Prague cafe as Stefano continued to strike out at Anna while claiming to be Steve. "How dare you speak to my wife like that?" Tony snapped. "How dare she pollute my ears with her nonsense?" Stefano countered. "There's only so much I can handle. I am done with this charade," Stefano declared before storming out of the cafe. John swiftly blocked Stefano's way, seeking to calm Steve down and learn the true cause of the outburst. "I don't need to be handled," Stefano insisted and pushed John away. "I was just getting sick of listening to that insufferable woman go on and on about," Stefano continued. "I'll show you insufferable," Tony warned, lunging forward in wrath. "It's okay, Tony," Anna protested, chasing Tony. No, he has no right to speak to you that way," Tony insisted. "I do seem to have struck a nerve with you, Steve," Anna admitted. "Yeah, Steve, why is that?" Tony begged to know. "Maybe I have a low tolerance for ignorance," Stefano offered with a shrug. "But why do you have a problem with me trashing Stefano Di Mera? I mean, you despise him as much as I do unless something changes," Anna argued. "Anna has a point there. Why are you standing up for Stefano? Are we missing something here?" John interjected. "You're not missing anything, except that I'm not defending Stefano, I'm defending common sense. I mean, we're spending time listening to her whine and cry, when we should be looking for the man," Stefano responded. "You really should watch your tone." Tony became stressed. "Oh, come on, Tony, even you can admit that her anger and resentment toward her father-in-law is out of line," Stefano argued. "No, it's totally justified, and the least that monster deserves," Anna insisted. "Monster? Is that how you think about your father?" Stefano challenged Tony. "Would you just let her speak?" Tony snapped. "Thank you, darling," Anna replied to Tony. "Yes, Stefano is a monster. He kept Tony and I apart for 2 decades. He has done awful things to all of us," Anna kept. "I will never, ever forgive him," Anna declared. "Nor do you have to," Tony informed Anna. "I think we can all agree that the old man has tried to destroy each of our lives at one time or another," says John. "And surely, Steve, you can admit that my wife has a right to say as much," Tony said him. "Steve?" John asked expectantly as Stefano battled to maintain his composure. "All right, Tony, I'll admit that, as long as you admit to the fact that your wife is a major pain in the ass," Stefano eventually spoke, staring at Anna with apparent scorn. "You and John weren't around the last time we went hunting for Stefano, but we were so close to capturing him, and then Anna showed up and fired a shot at me, at him, but it hit me," Stefano recalled with bitterness. "Oh, the bullet barely grazed you, and besides, if you hadn't gotten in the way of that bullet, then Stefano would be dead today, and the world would be a better place." Anna dismissed the argument. "As if a single gunshot could ever halt the phoenix. He constantly rises from the ashes. I mean, say whatever you want about Stefano Di Mera, but he's always defied the odds and outsmarted everyone who's ever tried to bring him down, even you. You know, some could call him a genius, after all, he's always one step ahead and just out of reach," Stefano countered. "For now," Tony insisted. "Well, I can tell you this, we're never gonna catch him as long as this deranged Annie Oakley keeps getting in the way, because he's miles too clever," Stefano continued. "You know, Steve, it sounds like you actually admire the man," Anna inquired. "You're right, I do," Stefano readily agreed. "I gotta tell you, pal, I never thought I'd live to hear you say that," John confessed after shaking off the shock of the comment. "Yeah, sounds like crazy talk to me," Anna agreed. "All I'm saying is that Stefano's a worthy adversary who will do anything he has to do to survive," he said. Yeah, he's a survivor, but no one's arguing that, John insisted. But that's why I don't want to litigate the things he's done in the past, and why, if you don't have anything useful to add to our investigation, I would prefer if you got out of the way, Tony, Stefano droned on. Right, John? Stefano inquired expectantly. I don't think I'd quite put it in those terms. John started to reply. Because you're not a rude, insulting ass, Tony said. Rude? Why don't you talk to your loudmouthed wife about it? Seriously, the woman is crazy. Stefano countered. Oh, I'll show you unhinged. Anna warned, lunging forward in wrath. See what I mean? Stefano replied to John, who was attempting to conclude the conversation. How would you feel, Steve, if I was to assault Kayla the way you have been insulting Anna? Tony wondered. Kayla's with Justin Kyriakis now, Stefano said with a shrug. And you don't mind seeing her with somebody else? Tony asked incredulously. She has her life, I have mine, Stefano said dismissively. So, if you think I'm gonna apologize to your chattering wife for getting in the way, you can forget it, Stefano told him. Oh, come on, Tony, let's just go, Anna advised. Good luck getting your man, but I wouldn't count on it as long as this Neanderthal is part of your posse. I think Stefano will smell you coming a mile away. Anna warned John before storming out. I'm sorry this didn't turn out the way I had hoped, Tony informed John before beginning to chase Anna. Nice to see you again, Tony, Stefano said in a much warmer tone than before, but Tony only scoffed and continued walking away. What the hell has gotten into you? John inquired once the coast was clear. I'm just reacting to that woman's insane behavior. She's like a walking version of nails on a chalkboard. Stefano responded with a grimace. That's a bit harsh, John complained. I don't think it's harsh enough. I honestly don't know what Tony sees in her, Stefano said. Stefano immediately decided to check in with some acquaintances, but refused to let John tag along, claiming that the contacts would not like it. Chad paid Kristen a call at the Salem Inn, unconcerned about the timing. I really have to head to work. Kristen protested. Work can wait, Chad said. Abby mentioned that you met with Stefano. I want to hear every detail of that meeting, Chad said, barging into Kristen's hotel room. Let's just say it was a revealing encounter, Kristen said. What does that mean? Chad asked. Well, it's just that I hadn't seen Father in a long time and, for a moment, I almost didn't recognize him, she said. You didn't recognize Stefano Di Mera, one of the most infamous faces in town? Chad provided an astonishing summary. I said I almost didn't recognize him, Kristen teased. But then he said something that made it undeniable, and I realized that it was him, that our fathers come back to us, and then we hugged, and I could feel the love in his embrace, and, you know, I've missed that more than I even realized. Kristen proceeded, smiling at the memories. Well, if this was such a special moment, then why did he just turn around and leave afterward? Chad pondered. Because I refused to hand over my Di Mera stock, Kristen speculated. Did he say where he was going, or when he was coming back? Chad asked. He wasn't in the mood to discuss his travel itinerary at that point, says Kristen.